I want to talk about something that I don't hear being talked about a lot, that I had to go searching far and wide to find the answer to something very deeply spiritual. For anyone that goes through an awakening or is on the path to enlightenment, that can be a very exciting time. You can reach a lot of different experiences within yourself on a lot of different levels. You go through the very darkest of places to the most vast open lightness of spaces. But the thing is after you have woken up, and you may have woken up a bunch of times to a lot of different things, you land yourself still here with it all. You're still here with everything that you know. And what you discover is that no matter how awakened you become, you still have to remain here on this earth. Is this where you really belong? This is why the spiritual community has such connections to other realms and dimensions, because we so wish we could just jump into a new timeline and arrive on a new planet somewhere. That's the next leg of the journey, is this time travel to another dimension. But we're still here. So hard to explain. This is why I was just baffling my mind to understand, what is this? What is this discourse that we put ourselves through to feel still pretty disconnected? Like, I know we say you're all one, everything is connected, but that's only when I go out into nature or I'm around animals or I'm with myself do I feel that connection with the universe. But when I step into the real world, which we are all here in the real world, like if there wasn't a real world, what would it be? The fake world? Where's the fake world? Is this the fake world? So no wonder you start to question if what you really went through was an awakening. Is that what it was? Did I go through an awakening? What was the whole point of that? And are all of those experiences just like being out of this world and then coming back in and then going out and coming back? It's like, is there some door that we keep opening and exploring, and then it just kicks us out and we're back here in the normal world again? Because the whole time that I was on this path, and I keep getting closer and closer and getting more and more understandings of this, my spiritual nature and my spiritual gifts. And it's like reaching enlightenment is that final destination, that final accomplishment, the pinnacle of your healing journey, only for it to leave you feeling empty and dull and numb and isolated. Isolated for sure. Because no one else around you is doing this. No one else is going through these doorways that you are. And what is really important is something called integration, integrating into your new spirited self. But it's really hard to integrate into your new spirited self here in this world. Like, I need a new planet to exist. I need a portal to a new place that I can transport to and land and be there to learn about the truths of how everything operates the best I can. And I'm rewarded with what? With still being here? Still here? Just like any other goals. that you chase. You can chase goals for money, chase goals for fame, chase goals for success, for love. You're still here. What I'm getting at is spiritual seekers are looking for something that doesn't exist here, which is why it scares me sometimes to think that the only way out is through death. But I'm not ready for that either. I mean, if it were to come, I would be okay with it. But I'm still waiting for this new realm that I'm supposed to integrate into. We hear about people who are light workers, star seeds. We are not from here. We were just sent here to raise the collective consciousness of everyone else through our own consciousness raising abilities. So I raise my own consciousness to a certain level. That is supposed to impact other people around me, influence other people, be a catalyst for other people, hopefully, so that over the course of time, then we are living on a new earth. We are living on a planet that is much more conscious than it ever was. But that might not happen in my lifetime. Maybe it is happening, but it's happening on such a slow trajectory that it's not really noticeable to the human eye, nor can I really feel it all the time, because there's so much more dark matter and heavy energy and lack of consciousness on this earth that has the ability to interfere with my own frequency. And yes, I can hold a very strong auric field. I can keep my energetic boundaries firm and strong, but I'm still just a human here, subject to external factors. So if all of that searching, all of that seeking has come to an end, because now I just know, now I've become an awakened being, I've become a light body. I don't know about the whole integration thing. You have to integrate yourself. What does that mean? To integrate myself into what? Into my own light body here. Maybe that's what the problem is it's having some difficulty integrating into who I am because it's confused. You see, when everything else around me is not congruent with how I'm supposed to integrate into. There's something missing in me being able to fully integrate. Part of the integration requires an environmental condition that I do not have access to, which is why so many of us isolate as a way to integrate. But that can only go on for so long. So now what is there left to do? To find the environment? Well, like I said, it needs to be another planet altogether at this moment in time. So then you go back to your suffering again. You become an awakened person who now is in suffering because they cannot integrate that light body. You've gone and you've done something that people aren't doing and that people are talking about. They might say they've done it and how great they are and how great they feel and how much their life has changed. But I think that is still coming from a very egoic place, because if we are realistic about this, if you are actually tuned in to the world, it's very difficult. And I'm not about to become so disconnected from what is really happening here, unless that's what you're supposed to do. Are you supposed to become so disconnected so that you can integrate into your light body? I don't understand. So you've been set up for a disappointment, which is why so many people go back to the dark night, go back to these depressed states. And all of that work that you just did feels like it was for nothing. But all of that work that you did also was detoxing yourself. You detox yourself from so much crap and programming and false beliefs and illusions. Now your energy is very low. And yeah, you feel exhausted because you're in this void of trying to reclaim yourself. That is part of the integrating yourself. But how do you reclaim yourself on a plane that is not designed to support you? We're just here now. Now we're just here. Now we've come full circle back to just being here. It's very strange. Very strange indeed.